The Holy Maiden of the Demon Gate is here to challenge you, the hand of the Immortal Gate. But unexpectedly, I was captivated by your unparalleled beauty." Before she could react, he took the initiative to approach her in front of the gathered disciples of the celestial beings and demons. She plunged her sword into her own chest. "This sword will not only take your life." Even the body gradually fades into the horizon. The onlooking disciples of the Immortal Gate couldn't believe what was happening before their eyes. Just because they know that you helped your master overcome the tribulation, silently enduring 36 thunder tribulations, and acted as if nothing happened. But later you suddenly said you were a bit hurt. Cultivation may regress. At first, they didn't believe it. After all, your cultivation has reached the highest realm. But now you have been killed by a Saintess whose cultivation is lower than yours. This left them all regretting their actions. Jing didn't take your words seriously before. Saint Maiden Mo Youyou was also startled by this sword. She originally just wanted to take the opportunity of the challenge to witness your beauty. But unexpectedly, you took this duel seriously, and he even purposely died under her sword. This made her feel an irreparable regret. Jing picked up the sword and was about to cut her own throat. Aunt Neurong Giant immediately raised her hand to stop them. There is simply no time. Unexpectedly, your spirit suddenly entered Mo Youyou's body. Everyone saw Mo Youyou's sword fall from her hand. Everyone thought it was Neurong who stopped her. Little do you know, all of this was your plan. Just because you have long grown tired of the position of the leader of the Immortal Alliance, intentionally pretending to be seriously injured under the pretext of a thunderstorm, to battle the Demon Gate and blow up Shanxi Junction to break free. Yet, unexpectedly, Mo Youyou felt a sense of guilt and contemplated ending her life. This also led you to intervene. But this move also made Mo Youyou sense something unusual. She knew her and clearly hadn't touched her. But the spectral sword suddenly slipped from my grasp, out of control. Moreover, it felt as if there was an external spirit added to the body. This made her suspect that you might be playing dead. She decided to embark on the journey to find you. Until 5 years later, I see you wandering among the mixed crowd. Now, if you have your old senior brothers, they probably wouldn't recognize you here either. Because when you were refining this body, deliberately refining this body into a celestial origin demon body, at the same time, the spirit entered this body. The power of the soul will also transform as if it has entered a filter. After such transformation, those familiar with your essence cannot see that you are an unknown river. Just treat you as a naturally born heavenly origin demon body person. Tianyuan demon body is part of the demon sect system. Don't be afraid of the Celestial Alliance coming to recruit you. Moreover, your current body has no cultivation whatsoever. This way, you won't be afraid of being recognized by others. Just when you were feeling proud, someone suddenly bumped into you. Sorry about that, brother. I'm in a hurry. Could you please step aside? A young man arrived at the place of his life, then quickly headed towards a certain direction in the city. Watching everyone heading in a certain direction towards the city, you suddenly stop a passerby and ask, "What urgent matter do you have to attend to?" You actually don't know. Today, Elder Mo Youyou from the Sword Language Hall of the Xianmeng branch welcomed new disciples. Many people want to go. Xianmeng Finmeng Jian Yuji. Mo Youyou, have you looked into the Sword Language Pavilion? But you haven't even heard of Mo Youyou. In these 5 years, you've been free and carefree. I want to explore everywhere. As soon as they heard the commotion, they hurriedly followed along. But what you don't know is that this trip will lead to trouble. Only see the new square in Nanchuan City. Mo Youyou sits upright in the central high position. She wore a deist robe, resembling a celestial fairy. You recognized her at a glance. Mo Youyou was more than familiar with this face. Isn't this Mo Youyou? But this Mo Youyou has no trace of demonic energy at all. Have you heard that Mo Youyou is the body of Jiayu, surrounded by uncontrollable magical energy? Back then, during the decisive battle, I indeed saw that terrifying demonic aura with my own eyes. But today, after 5 years, there isn't a trace of demonic energy at all. Instead, they are all the sacred aura of the cloud dust fairy. Or say she is not Mo Youyou. As you were still in doubt, you saw the city lord wiping cold sweat and asking, "Sword Immortal Master, the young talents of my city are almost all gathered in this square." You see, at this moment, another girl from Kingshan sitting next to Mo Youyou stood up and spoke first. "Don't make noise. Let Yao Jai choose for herself. Yao Jai, you choose. See if there are any desirable future principals. I will definitely help you win this." Kingshan girls were still teasing Mo Youyou, yet Mo Youyou was staring blankly at a spot. "Sister Yao, what are you looking at?" The girl with black hair waved her small hand in front of Mo Youyou's eyes. "Don't make a fuss." Mo Youyou tightly grasped Luo Qingjin's wrist and continued to look in that direction. Luo Qingjin followed Mo Youyou's gaze. There were a few young men there. The most striking figure was a young man in black clothing. The young man in black, Luo Qingjin, looked somewhat familiar to him. "Sister Yao, do you think that person in black looks like someone?" Mo Youyou was still looking at that person. It seemed like she was pondering something and did not answer him. Luo Qingjin held Zio Nadai and contemplated for a long time. "I understand. He looks like the former leader." Luo Qingjin's words are astonishing. Mo Youyou quickly covered Luo Qingjin's mouth with her hand. "Don't talk nonsense." This person looked like Gu Mingxuan, and Mo Youyou recognized it at first glance. But he has a bigger guess. He was just thinking about how to confirm this guess. The city lord finally found the opportunity to speak. "Two fairies. Isn't it time to hold the life and death duel?" "No need for that. I have a candidate." Mo Youyou glanced at you. Seeing this, you secretly thought it was not good. As soon as you entered, you felt Mo Youyou staring at you intently. But you can't use spirit probing easily without being detected. If it were just a fight, that would be one thing. After all, killing the other party on the spot would reveal my identity. Nature will not retaliate. But if it's only through spiritual probing, despite the other party being unable to tell that his spirit was Gu Mingxuan, it can easily lead to various problems. After all, my appearance is just that of an ordinary person. So I endured being stared at by Mo Youyou. Finally, it seems like she is no longer looking at you. Just as you were about to turn and run, she spoke directly. "I want her." Mo Youyou faintly pointed out 3 words. "Unyielding until death." The young talents waiting below the high platform were instantly in an uproar. "Who is she? Can the wooden sword immortal directly name her?" "It's just that they are a bit good looking." "I think it's a pretty boy." Luo King on the stands was also left speechless upon hearing this. So Sister Yao is not so reserved after all. "I won't choose anything at all. I just like her this much." As Mo Youyou spoke, a flying sword shot out and embedded itself right in front of you. Then I got up lightly. "This master only needs one disciple to enter the world. Qingjin, come choose your disciple." "Don't you like 18-year-old boys?" "I haven't taken any disciples yet." "I was joking, Sister Yao." "Wait for me, Sister Yao." Only then did Mo Youyou and Huey King jump out from the high platform. The flowing white robe billows in the wind like a celestial being coming before you. "Follow me," in a tone that seemed devoid of emotion. Mo Youyou's delicate little hand directly grasped your wrist. Directly flying to the clouds with people. You were just immersed in beauty. Caught off guard, I was kidnapped. I have been discovered. It's impossible, right? At the same time, Mo Youyou's cool tone surprised you a bit. On the day of the decisive battle, you saw her angry and charming face. I have seen her determined resolve and her tear-streaked little flower face. 5 years later, she became a cold-faced female sword immortal. Although there is no demonic energy, the temperament is also quite different. But when interacting with Mo Youyou, you have uncovered your domineering spirit. What is Mo Youyou? Clearly, it's Mo Youyou. The exact same taste. Sword Fairy Mo Youyou. Nature is the sacred maiden of the magic gate, Mo Youyou. 5 years ago, she returned to the demon gate with a weary expression. Lock yourself up, a person calmly contemplates for a month. She made a decision that would affect her entire life. She wants to find that person, since she is deceiving herself like this. How could I possibly let her go like this? What to do after finding that person? First find it, then we'll talk. Soon after, she clings to her father, requested a magical treasure from the demon gate. Rock imprint. The rock imprint can only be used once. A brand new body can be copied for the user. This is still not enough. Mo Youyou also added many precious heavenly materials and earthly treasures, together refining. Finally, the shell. Refine yourself to achieve the desired moon star Xuan body constitution. Yuexing Xuanti can absorb magical energy. When the demonic energy on the body, when the essence of that constitution is absorbed, it is not a moment of victory. She is checking in, following her mother, learned some righteous techniques and sword techniques from the Immortal sect. Mo Youyou's mother was originally from the Immortal sect. I just fell in love with the leader of the Demon Gate. Without hesitation, he followed her to the Demon Gate. To this day, I am still cultivating the methods of the Immortal sect. Mo Youyou is exceptionally gifted, even when using the new Xioxian technique. It only took 3 years. Let this body reach the lethal realm. Later, she transformed her large body. Stay in one's unique 9 underworld space, transforming into a wandering hermit in the mountains, Mo Youyou. The 9 nether space is similar to the 9 sword space. Xio is among them. It feels as if time has been paused and frozen. Mo Youyou set his primary goal as the sword language pavilion within the sect alliance. Proposed to be their elder Keeking, although Mo Youyou's alternate account name was not well known. But it made for excellent swordsmanship. Still the embellishment of the deadly realm. Ling Jianyu Ji immediately became active, to know the master of the sword language pavilion, Mo Lin. He is just 1 level higher than her. Barely reached the tribulation realm. The sword language pavilion moved instantly, fearing that others will regret it. Let her move in that day, to make the mountain gate atop the mountain. Let her choose freely. Actually, if it were possible, Mo Youyou wanted to choose a sect in the headquarters of the Immortal Gate. The threshold for the Kexin sect headquarters is quite high. The selection process is extremely strict. It's okay if you can't get in. If caught on the spot, it's going to be a big mess. Let's start from the beginning. Entering the main base of the Immortal Gate is quite appropriate. But I didn't expect there to be unexpected gains from this division. Instead, the progress has become faster. Mo Youyou looked at Gu Mingxuan, whom she had kidnapped. I am increasingly grateful for joining the sword language pavilion back then. Jianyu Pavilion is nestled among the mountains. The largest immortal mountain in the middle is the headquarters of Jianyu Pavilion. Resided some elders and the sect leader. Between the mountains, there is a vast expanse of mist and clouds. The cultivators wielded their magical artifacts and flying swords. Shuttling between them, Mo Youyou's wooden sword edge, located at the top right corner of the Jianyu Pavilion mountain range. To her left is the King Yingfeng made of fallen turquoise. At this moment, Mu Jianfeng arrived. Mo Youyou arrived at her main house, threw the person directly to the ground. Gu Mingxuan didn't dare to use his spiritual power. Only a sound of a fall was heard, with a sorrowful cry of pain. Mo Youyou couldn't help but chuckle. If my guess is true, that was the great leader Gu. I fell and landed right on my butt. She was overjoyed. Her face remained calm as ever. The drum is taut and there are no waves. Then Gu Mingxuan got up from the ground. I saw Mo Youyou. It has been more than 10 minutes since I sat in front of the main house. She didn't plan to reveal her identity, pretending it's the first time meeting Mo Youyou. May I ask what the immortal means? I want to take you as my apprentice. Say, then, can I refuse? Cannot. Then, Gu Mingxuan was somewhat speechless. I can only answer, Gu Zio. Gender. Uh, Gu Mingchuan was speechless. This is the police from my previous life. Are you recording? Aid 18. Uh, it's really not a few hundred years old. Mo Youyou even wanted to say, isn't it over 220 years old? But she didn't want to be too straightforward. What if this person isn't her? Gu Mingchuan's heart skipped a beat. What does this female demon mean? Test me. Seeing the immortal master, I just turned 18 this year. Gu Mingchuan spoke neither humbly nor arrogantly. I wish to take you as my disciple, but I still need to test you first. Gu Mingchuan, are you willing? Mo Youyou adopted an air of a transcendent master. Unwilling. I don't want to cultivate. Please seek someone more capable. Gu Mingchuan's first thought was to run, becoming an apprentice to the female demon lord. What a joke. My carefree days. It has only been 5 years. Not yet finished enjoying. It's no longer up to you. Mo Youyou's face remained expressionless. Handcrafted sword technique. The sword flew out into the void. This time, Gu Mingchuan saw clearly. Isn't this the Muyaojian? It's just a slight modification to the appearance of the hilt. I have 999 flying swords transformed from spiritual energy. If you manage to dodge everything, I will personally escort you down the mountain. If you only want a sword, then you can't leave. In a calm tone, saying the most inhumane words. If one were just an ordinary mortal, don't say you avoided the flying sword. If you can't die, it's because Mo Youyou has released the water. Mo Youyou split the flying sword into 2. Divide by 4, until an uncountable number. Gu Mingchuan did not use his divine soul. He can't count them either. Is it 999 flying swords? May I ask the sword immortal a question first? What? Why did you fall for me? Mo Youyou was thinking about how to weave. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Torch Su, only able to hide awkwardly from the flying swords, feeling resentful and unjust. I am the former leader of the fierce alliance. When have you ever been this helpless? Finally, as the 663rd flying sword shot out, Gu Mingchuan's strength was exhausted. He was just like an ordinary person under the demon body system. How many blows can a mortal body evade? It's already frightening enough to get rid of this female tyrant. Gu Mingchuan secretly used a trace of his spiritual power, recovering stamina. At the same time, the 9 swords space automatically replenished a trace of spiritual energy into Gu Mingchuan's body. Supplementation is completely uncontrollable. It's like charging. You plugged in the charging cable. No matter how you say it, the phone. No. You still have to obediently recharge. Then, it was tragic. This thread has just emerged from the 9 sword space. The soul has not yet entered the body. It must not have gone through Gu Mingchuan. The body is filtering now. So, Mo Youyou, who had long been prepared for exploration, immediately sensed that thread of spirit. Although it was quick, the aura of that silk soul changed. But he has already made up his mind. It's the breath of that person. Identical. Moreover, this damn mortal body dodged hundreds of flying swords. What are you, an ordinary mortal? In these 5 years, he is always no longer reminiscing about that faint breath. That taste has long been engraved in my mind. He can't be mistaken. Mo Youyou watched as she used a trace of her spirit to dodge the flying sword. Gu Mingchuan darting around in the arena, feeling both joy and anger inside. Shit. Fortunately, he did not truly die and disappear. Anger is, this person really uses himself as a human shield. Then I shed my skin like a golden cicada, and everything was resolved. Not possible. We can't let him off so easily. He has now fallen into my hands. Didn't you use to call me the female demon? From now on, I'll let you see the methods of a female tyrant. Still want to run. There's no way. Today I must tie you to my side and make you my disciple. Enduring for a moment leads to greater loss in the long run. Taking a step back only makes me angrier. Mo Youyou unconsciously increased the energy input of the sword technique. The speed of the flying sword was a bit too fast for a moment. There was even a weapon that surpassed the speed of sound. As a result, Gu Mingchuan did not react right away, just slightly tilted to the side. The flying sword made a cut on his arm. It's just as well he turned aside. Otherwise, this flying sword might have cut off his wrist on the spot. This melody is ultimately for ordinary folks. Just so. Even an ordinary sword formed from spiritual energy. He can't stop it either, you said. Mo Youyou waved her hand. The astonishing number of flying swords vanished in an instant. Gu Mingchuan has now activated his divine soul. He counted. Fraudster, there are at least thousands of these flying swords. Bastard. Mo Youyou stepped forward. The soft little hand covered Gu Mingchuan's wound. A flash of white light passed by. That wound has disappeared. He seems to have purified the corpse. Even this tiny flying sword can hurt him. Is this the price of being blown to bits? Mo Youyou felt both joy and anger afterwards. It feels a bit painful. Such an arrogant person. And just like that, I became immortal. So how did he spend these 5 years? Not allowed. Then this master must take the role seriously. Although it is true that I want to bully him and speak ill of him. But Mo Youyou will not disappoint her master's duties. Don't let him return to the realm of the lowly. At the very least, you should be able to stand side by side with yourself. And over there with Gu Mingchuan, I just feel my arms are icy and cold. Somewhat refreshing. Gu Mingchuan didn't know what to say. Are you saying he cheated? But I can't clearly explain the problem of counting the flying swords myself. Moreover, people won't admit it either. The number of flying swords is incorrect. After all, the flying swords have all been put away. Moreover, I actually don't even have 999 flying swords yet. Got caught, although there were tricks played in the Mo Youyou case. The reason for the sudden change in speed. Qiren didn't say anything about not changing speed at first. Gu Mingchuan suffered a silent loss. I can only swallow my tears. Is there anyone else in your home? Mo Youyou asked after she spoke. I just feel this is nonsense. First, we must swear allegiance to the leader. Now, there are no relatives left. He just asked casually. One might suddenly think. Incorrect. What if he settles down and builds a life in the mortal world? Having a wife, not available. Gu Mingchuan simply shook his head. The teacher replied, Woman, what is that? Women only affect my speed in drawing the sword. Women and such. It's too much trouble. When I heard him say there are no 2 words, Mo Youyou let out a sigh of relief without even realizing it. Where will you live from now on? Mo Youyou pointed to the bamboo house on the other side. 2 bamboo houses side by side. Very close. On the left is Mo Youyou's. The right side now belongs to Gu Mingchuan. Is there any luggage you need to prepare for the return? Then, but Sword Immortal Master, can I make a request? Speak. Now advocating for free apprenticeship. So can I. Gu Mingchuan, still thinking about running away. He is not just. I don't want to be Mo Youyou's disciple. The most important thing is, he still doesn't want to stop his carefree wandering steps. He has not yet had enough of this beautiful land. Haven't enjoyed my freedom enough. How can I be so bound like this? But now, I'm afraid it won't be up to him anymore. You cannot. I now permit you to move freely on Wooden Sword Peak. Tomorrow morning, you must arrive at my door on time to pay your respects. Mo Youyou flatly refused. There was no room for him to object in her words. What was left for him in the end? Only a charming silhouette. Sister Yo, where is he? From outside Mu Giant Peak. It was Luo Qingjin. But Mo Youyou did not know where she had gone. now the only living person on Wooden Sword Peak. Only Gu Mingxuan, who is just captured, remains. What's your name, kid? Gu Xiao. Gu Mingxuan calmly stated his alias. I am a good friend of Sister Yao, elder of the Sword Language Pavilion, Luo Qingjin, paying respects to Master Luo. Luo Qingjin circled around Gu Xiao, looking left and right. He really does look a lot like Lord Gu. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. It's still a Tianyuan magic body system. Did Sister Yao really take my words to heart? That's not quite right. The way he looked at you back then. It seems like watching an old lover. Hello. You little rascal, you aren't the type to start something and abandon it, are you? Luo Qingjin's single remark left Gu Mingxuan speechless. This answer won't do either. The answer is still not acceptable. The answer is not what you expect. It seems like there really is something between me and Mo Youyou. The answer is yes. It seems like I'm really a scumbag. Gu Mingxuan, who wasn't very articulate, suddenly went silent. After a long pause, I finally managed to say something. He is now my master. Upon hearing these words, Luo Qingjin, who was both trapped and desperate, finally spoke. What happened to the master? The master arrived on the bed. It's the young lady, indeed. Don't be timid, let me tell you. Sister Yao seems to have a cool personality, but cold on the outside, warm on the inside. Very likable. Don't bully him. Treasure it well. Once you pass this village, there won't be another shop. Hurry up. Make sure to let me drink your wedding wine by next year. A set of small combos with bursts and powerful moves. Beating Gu Mingxuan until he loses his sense of direction. I've been the leader for so many years and have never encountered someone so audacious in speech. A character who speaks completely illogically. Gu Mingxuan didn't think too carefully. In those years as the leader of the Alliance, his combat power threat level is at the highest. Who dares to speak carelessly under his watchful gaze? Luo Qingjin nagged for a while and then left. Mo Youyou is not here. It's boring for her to be here alone. Gu Mingxuan didn't want to talk to her. Gu Mingxuan was wandering around alone in front of the bamboo house. Mo Youyou is not here now. It seemed to be her best chance to escape. There's no need to be afraid of exposing your identity. He Gu Mingxuan's outstretched foot. But I still can't take a step forward. When she truly could walk, but didn't want to leave. If we talk about the 5 years that have disappeared, she wanders freely, blissfully unaware. It is indeed true. On the day of the final battle, Mo Youyou's tearful and self-aware appearance, still in her heart, left an indelible deep impression. No matter what, no matter how great our excuses are. What is it to sacrifice one's life for the sake of the world? What is it that can make 1,000 years of peace between the immortals and demons be cast aside? She ultimately felt guilty towards the holy maiden of the Demon Gate. She pretended to be dead, perhaps worthy of the world, worthy of the Taoist world. However, for Mo Youyou it was different. She truly hurt her. Gu Mingxuan originally thought that, after saving her that day, it's considered settled, but the truth is not like that. When I rest every night, from time to time I dream of Mo Youyou holding a sword, the sorrowful appearance of one resolutely taking their own life, dreaming of her asking herself again, why fake one's death? Why deceive her? Why trap her in injustice? In the next 5 years, she walks in the mortal world. From time to time, there are many rumors about her. They are talking. The wicked sorceress of the Demon Gate, the cold Saintess of the Demon Gate has disappeared, did not see their figure in the Demon Gate, not knowing where it went. Gu Mingxuan only felt. I'm afraid it has a lot to do with myself. After all, she was confused, carrying the heavy burden of killing oneself. It's hard to say whether it's the realm of immortals or demons. How many people hold a grudge against her? The immortals and demons hold a grudge against her for killing their leader. It's possible that someone is secretly plotting revenge. The warmongers of the Demon Gate hold a grudge again. because she killed the elder of the celestial demons, led to both sides signing a ceasefire agreement. She must have many grievances against her. In these years, being excluded and targeted is inevitable, concealing my identity here. When the female soared immortal, maybe there are these reasons. Gu Mingchuan took a step forward, already left the mountain gate, but then turned back, heading to Wooden Sword Peak. That's it, that's it. Indeed, I still owe her. Gu Mingchuan sighed, decided not to run after all. Let's just quietly accompany her for a while, be a good disciple for her. As time passed, the bond between the master and disciple deepened. Find another time. Confess your identity. I hope to seek her forgiveness. This way, I can continue to live freely. Gu Mingchuan guessed. Mo Youyou is recruiting disciples here. It might be the Sword and Pavilion asking Elder Kachin, recruiting disciples under the name of Sword and Pavilion. It could also be the Demon Gate. She asked her to bring back a capable demonic cultivator, no matter which kind. Gu Mingchuan felt it was acceptable, no matter her motivations. It's all my fault. Moreover, this is how it is for Gu Mingchuan. In fact, there are great benefits. My own little trumpet. It is the heavenly origin demon body, the most suitable cultivation method. Natural or demonic gate techniques. Although Mo Youyou is now the female sword immortal of the sword and pavilion, but since she has accepted herself, no matter which family entrusted me, surely there are plans in mind. Translating the family's magical sect's techniques. Leave it to myself, this celestial origin demon body. Let them open the magic gate and branch out. Gu Mingchuan really guessed correctly. Mo Youyou now, it was for her cultivation technique, the treasure vault of the escaping family magic gate. But not everything was guessed correctly. Mo Youyou is not. It is for the genuine demon body, and help her choose the magic gate technique. But because she is the heavenly origin demon body, so I must help her choose the magical gate technique. For Mo Youyou, what's important is not Gu Mingchuan's physical condition. What kind of constitution does Gu Mingchuan have? Duan of Feng, Mongmen, Library of Hidden Books, Uncle Liu. On this day, the 9 changes of the demon. Where did the lonely mist sword technique go? Mo Youyou returned to the demon sect. The first thing she did, it's not to see one's own parents, but in the library of the demon gate, ransacking the cupboard. She searched for half a day. Surprisingly, I couldn't find what I was looking for. Saint Lady, these 2 techniques. After all, it's a treasure of the demon sect. It is personally kept by the sect leader. Uncle Liu, the guardian of the treasure vault, had just finished speaking. The holy maiden, the little ancestor, has disappeared. She was the only one left, gazing at the ruined treasure vault, unable to cry, no tears. The study of the demon gate, the sect leader Mo Youyou was flipping through. Here is the document that has been submitted. Grandfather, give me the technique. Mo Youyou rushed in anxiously. What technique? Mo Youyou looked completely confused. Tianmo 9 transformations and solitary mist sword technique. That is a forbidden technique. Tian Mo Jiu Bian. Only the chosen celestial demon can cultivate. What are you doing? Moreover, that lonely mist sword technique, father. Didn't we agree? To be left for your future husband. I know my limits. Mo Youyou coldly interrupted her father's question. Mo Youyou is a family of 3, lowest status, unless something very serious happens. Otherwise, she is completely obedient. Isn't it just a technique? Baby daughter wants. Just give it. Mo Youyou took out from his storage space. Hand over the 2 practice manuals to Mo Youyou. Oh, your mother misses you very much. Stay with me a little longer. I will come back to see you next time. I have something to attend to, so I'm leaving first. The conversation isn't over yet. The precious daughter just ran off for a little while. Mo Youyou sighed and shook his head. It's true that a daughter should not be kept at home for too long. Mo Youyou holds the cultivation method, heading towards the teleportation array to reach the void. The sword and pavilion is at the southernmost tip of the continent, and the demon gate is on the western side of the continent. To travel quickly between the two, we must rely on the teleportation array. However, due to distance issues, the farther apart we are, time of transmission completion, it will increase proportionally. Arrived at the sword and pavilion. It has been a while. It is precisely the time for dinner. However, once a practitioner reaches the foundation stage, you can avoid the valley now. Mo Youyou has been gone for a long time. I haven't tasted the flavor of ordinary meals in a long time. I thought this time I would return. The magic gate will take more time. Maybe I won't be back today. That's why I talked to Gu Mingxuan. Have him wait at the door on time tomorrow. I didn't expect that teleportation array to be so fast. Mo Youyou hurriedly flew towards Mu Jianfeng when she left. Actually, it is raining all around. A special restriction aimed at Gu Mingxuan. Prevent her from sneaking out. But right now, returning to the sword and pavilion, she only felt confused. Why are you so relaxed? That person used to be the number one of the First Alliance. Although it seems nowadays that a mundane person nearing the level of a master. But who knows? What backup plan does she have? If she is unwilling, it's hard to say if I can stay. I have searched for her for so long. What if she really ran away? Mo Youyou found it hard to restrain her anxious heart. The speed of the flying sword beneath my feet increased. Hey, Sister Yao, where have you been? Ah, Luo Qingjin welcomes Mo Youyou in the air. Instead, she was caught off guard. Why are you in such a hurry to see your precious picture? So love will disappear. Mo Youyou didn't notice at all. What did I just bump into? She only has her disciple in her eyes now. Arrived above the bamboo house. She saw Gu Mingxuan's bamboo house lit with bamboo fire. Let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, she's still here this time. She slowly walked to Gu Mingxuan's bamboo cottage door, reaching out a small hand to knock on the door. Yet I feel uncertain about what excuse to use. Mo Youyou, you are clearly her master. What are you feeling awkward about? Mo Youyou stamped her foot, still walking towards my bamboo house. Forget it, let her come to see me tomorrow. Master, you're back. Just as Mo Youyou was about to leave, the door of the bamboo house opened. Gu Mingxuan's head popped out. What do you call me? Master, what happened? In fact, Gu Mingxuan calls someone master. This is really the first time. Tianji Meng Da Leituzi. Gu Mingxuan was raised by him since childhood. He treats that old man like a grandfather, although he can be considered his master. But he has called him old man since he was young. The old man was not angry with him. Instead, it feels closer. Oh, not much. Mo Youyou replied softly. It seems hard to see joy or sorrow, but the sharp-eyed Gu Mingxuan could see. The corners of his mouth slightly lifted. HMPH, women are really easily satisfied. Master, are you hungry? Come have dinner. Mo Youyou suddenly remembered at that moment. Gu Mingxuan's body is that of a mortal. You still need to eat grains and cereals. I didn't prepare anything for him when I left on my own. Where did he come from? No need. The practitioner has already closed their bones. Where did you get the kitchenware and food? It's my fault as a teacher. Forgetting you, I still have to eat. Mo Youyou slightly frowned. Prepared by Master Luo. Gu Mingxuan thought of Luo kinking and felt a headache coming on. That person is still a glutton, remembering that I am just a mortal who still needs to eat. That's why I came to ask myself if I can cook. Upon hearing that Gu Mingxuan can cook, the turkey bird rushed down the mountain. I brought back a set of kitchenware and a few days' worth of food. Sorry, I can't assist with that. Mo Youyou wanted to speak, but hesitated. He didn't know why he asked like that. What is it? Kinking has eaten the meal you cooked. Biting her lower lip, Mo Youyou couldn't help but ask. Luo Kinking is a glutton. Usually, They would come up with various excuses to go down the mountain for a feast. Now Gu Mingchuan can cook. Will he miss it? Bring cooking utensils and food to Gu Mingchuan. Aren't you just banging the dinner plate to mooch some food? No, I want to be the first person in the sect to taste the food I cook. It must be the master. He wants Mo Youyou to be the first. So he directly took Mo Youyou out to threaten Luo kinking. If my master knew, the first person to eat my food was Master Luo. Can Master Luo still be alive? Luo kinking recalled Mo Youyou's usual style. He left in a dejected manner. Master, from now on, let's have meals together every day. Gu Mingchuan smiled brightly in the sunshine. Mo Youyou felt as if a string in her heart had been plucked. Feeling a bit unsettled, the corners of her mouth slightly lifted. Feeling a bit happy again, yet unaware of it. Say it again. Master, please come in. Gu Mingchuan opened the bamboo gate. He pulled up a chair at the dining table, added a set of chopsticks and a bowl. Mo Youyou watched him walk back and forth, taking things. You, why don't you call me master anymore? Sorry, I can't assist with that. Master, master, master. Is there a difference with the master? I don't know either. Then I'll take turns calling. Good. The Yuo kinking certainly wanted to stay for a free meal, but Gu Mingchuan didn't want to. A troublesome woman is enough with Mo Youyou. Add one more. What kind of joke is this? If it weren't for the feeling of owing Mo Youyou. Mo Youyou is somewhat different from his impressions of other women. Change to another woman. Ba has already run away today. Mo Youyou, what is forbidden? He sensed it when he released his soul. That thing probably can't stop him. He just doesn't want to leave. How long has the master not eaten earthly food? It's been a while, hasn't it? Master, since I entered the stationed period. I have hardly eaten anything. Gu Mingchuan served a bowl of white rice to Mo Youyou, added another dish for him. Pana, master, give it a try and see if it suits your taste. Delicious. Mo Youyou, the female sword immortal, looks like this, although it appears cold and frosty on the surface. But to speak frankly, delicious is just delicious, as long as it tastes good. Try this again. Try this again. Gu Mingchuan cooked about 4 or 5 dishes. Each dish was served to Mo Youyou once. Don't. Too much. It's about to overflow. Mo Youyou watched as the rice bowl rose high. Still swaying, quickly took a bite. After the two had their fill of food and drink, spread out on the mind. Master, do you find practicing dull and boring? Well, Mo Youyou nodded. Then why continue to cultivate? Gu Mingchuan raised a question. Mo Youyou didn't understand what he meant by that, but after some contemplation, he cleaned the pig's lips. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Everyone has their own reasons. Some people strive for success, no longer subjected to humiliation. Some people seek immortality, no longer suffering from the pains of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Some seek power for profit, for endless desires. But there are also those who act for the sake of the world. Blood and guts everywhere. Gu Mingchuan listened to the previous words, feeling quite similar. At the end, there was a slight stir in my heart. Is he talking about me? However, I am just someone seeking freedom, just a schemer calculating against him. The Kuzio, why do you practice? Mo Youyou relaxed. I almost shouted out Gu Mingchuan's name. I actually don't want to cultivate. It was the master who helped me come here. Hai. Without his reminder, Mo Youyou had completely forgotten about this. Why don't you want to practice? Training is so boring. Disciple wants to eat and drink more. Everywhere, traveling through mountains and rivers. Why, a happy life. This is Gu Mingchuan's truest response. He was unwilling to practice. It was just that the old man had deep feelings and loyalty towards him. He must not let down. Mo Youyou listened to his words. I seem to understand some of Gu Mingjuan's thoughts about blowing things up. I still don't quite understand. So you still want to run away? Mo Youyou asked. I couldn't help but feel a bit nervous. The small hand under the table began to clench tightly. Not running away anymore. Why, I'll ask a question first. Master is in charge. Wan Chuan, Wan Bao, Wan Shen, Wan Si, are you burying it? Wan, without a trace of hesitation. I ask the question first. Mo Youyou nodded. Will you take care of my life from now on? Package. Then I definitely won't run away. I was supported for the second half of my life. No need to strive. How nice. Bu Mingchuan thought that Mo Youyou would agree. I didn't expect him to agree so readily. He originally thought, no matter what kind of woman, hearing the term the latter half of life, there will be some hesitation, right? If it were another man, don't mention asking this question. As long as you dare to ask, Mo Youyou is about to stab through with her flying sword. But Gu Mingchuan is different. What are the specific differences? Mo Youyou also does not know. Gu Mingchuan felt inexplicably happy for a moment. Zhao looked at Mo Youyou and blinked. He has sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. The edges are sharp and distinct. Those deep, captivating eyes. The moment he winked at him, he seems to be distracted. Master, master, Master Fu. Gu Mingchuan waved his hand in front of Mo Youyou's eyes. What's wrong? Mo Youyou was jolted back to reality. Master is distracted again. You're not having second thoughts, are you? No way. Just don't think about running away. I naturally won't run. I'm afraid that in the future my master won't be able to support me. I want to run on my own. I can easily support you. The two playfully wrestled with each other. I don't feel very well. It feels like our relationship has become much closer. Gu Mingchuan also felt. Mo Youyou was no longer as stern as when they first reunited. The sense of distance has lessened quite a bit. Gu Mingchuan recalled something. By the way, the master hasn't told you what your cultivation is for yet. Not talking to you. Why, for no reason. Mo Youyou was unwilling to speak. Gu Mingchuan also had no way out. The master doesn't know either. What do you want for yourself? Is it really necessary to say this to you? Mo Youyou relies on her willow-like brows. Suddenly, I feel so useless. Mo Youyou is an obedient child. The elderly couple at home treated her very well. She has been the little princess of the Demon Gate since childhood. There's no need to deliberately think about what to do. Naturally, someone is there to help her. Ready, if you want to say what you desire. 5 years ago, what she wanted for the first time was, Gu Mingchuan can survive. Speaking of which, replacing my father, go to confront Gu Mingchuan. That was still my first time. Things I want to do later on. The thing I want to do for the second time. It's about being an undercover agent in the Alliance. Searching for news about Gu Mingchuan. It seems like I'm thinking for myself. When you decide to do something on your own, it's all because of the person in front of me. Gu Mingchuan looked at her with a furrowed brow, staring blankly at myself. I don't know how it happened. He extended his hand, gently brushed against Mo Youyou's forehead. She is very gentle. Two brows furrowed as they surrounded her. Mo Youyou was caught off guard by this sudden turn, regained composure. See her hand, pressing the point between her eyebrows. In an instant, the cheeks and earlobes of the small face. Everything is powdery and greasy, vague eyebrows and small eyebrows. Mo Youyou's willow-like eyebrows are counting down, trying hard to keep a straight face. Slap her hand down. Gu Mingchuan retracted himself. The uncontrollable fingers just now, above. It seems there is still the sensation of Mo Youyou's touch at the center of her brow. Hi there. Master cannot be jealous. No matter what Master looks like, he is always handsome. But frowning easily leads to wrinkles. What wrinkles? It's all nonsense. The practitioner wishes to eliminate wrinkles. Isn't it just a matter of minutes? Ku Mingchuan just can't stand it. She is not happy at the same time. I just can't help but want to take action. Uh, Mo Youyou also didn't expose her little thoughts. Her facial temperature is still rising. It's been 100 years since the establishment of the maternal platform. No one has ever been this close to her before. Gu Mingchuan observed her, though she appeared somewhat indifferent. But the face was rosy, like a Fuji apple. Master, are you perhaps feeling shy? But Master's face. Gu Mingchuan had not finished speaking. I felt several flying swords appear behind me. I had no choice but to obediently keep quiet. Mo Youyou glared angrily. This is like burying your head in the sand while trying to deceive yourself. As long as you don't mention it, I won't have it. I can't do it anymore. Well, I am your master now, even though you hide your identity as the leader of the Siamang. But I am clearly your master now. Can't you give the master some face? No way. Hurry up and leave. Gu Mingchuan saw his master. Suddenly, I sprang up quickly. Little feet pitter-pattered out of the bamboo house. With a click, the bamboo door closed. After a while, a muffled sound came from outside the bamboo door. I just think it's hot. Mo Youyou is still striving to maintain her authority. Gu Mingchuan seems to be somewhat ruthless. He tried hard to suppress his laughter. But because it's not professional, so I couldn't hold back. I couldn't help but laugh out loud in a rather unkind way. Not eating. Got it. Good night, master. With a loud hiss, the bamboo door was kicked. A muffled sound of wood echoed from outside. Good night. Outside Gu Mingchuan's bamboo house, Mo Youyou's face cooled down significantly. He looked up at the moon in the sky, starting to move towards a complete direction, secretly sighing. It's good that today is only the 7th day. If it were the moon on the 15th, he just stayed in Gu Mingchuan's room. It will definitely be noticed. He doesn't want to be pitied by him. Mo Youyou returned to the house. Lying on my own bed, my body trembles slightly. It seems to hurt. He took a painkiller from the storage space and swallowed it. I don't know how long it took before I fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Gu Mingchuan still remembers. Mo Youyou said, "In the morning, I must wait outside his house." He has finished washing up now, even prepared breakfast for two, on the stone table outside, just waiting for my master to wake up. As the morning time approached 1/2 past, Gu Mingchuan knocked a few times on the door outside Mo Youyou's house. No sound. He doesn't know. Should we just go in? Mingaming looks so aloof on the outside. The skilled sword-wielding female swordsman with a low profile still loves to sleep in. Could it be a lazy pig from some family in disguise? Gu Mingchuan complained. Let's not mention that he is my master. There are differences between men and women. This way, Gu Mingchuan wouldn't dare to barge into Mo Youyou's room so abruptly. Not counting 5 years ago, we've only known each other for less than 2 days. Breaking into a woman's private chamber. I really can't do it myself. Gu Mingchuan was deep in thought. Should we wake up Xiao Lanju? Mo Youyou heard the bamboo door creak open, stepping out of the house. Master Yu. How does Gu Mingchuan look at Mo Youyou? Her face was pale. Some were scared. Mo Youyou realized. Hurry back to the bamboo house. Applied some light makeup to my face. Covered some pale hues. Last night, she didn't know how long the pain lasted. It's almost the 15th. The pain in my body is becoming more intense. Gu Mingchuan watched as Mo Youyou walked out again. Your complexion looks a bit better. However, Master looks beautiful with light makeup. It seemed a bit overwhelming for her. Gu Mingchuan sighed to himself. King Shifan died, lightly brushed the brows. However, the immortal Kijdi is nothing more than this. Mo Youyou was shy last night. No longer exists. It returned to its usual calm and serene appearance. Today, let me give you a little insight. Stand properly. Disciple. Kup. Sayo. Master, don't rush. Let's have breakfast first. Gu Mingchuan was also unreserved, the one who cannot be disrespected in the young ladies' chamber, now holding onto his master's delicate pale wrist. Before Mo Youyou could say whether to eat or not, Gu Mingchuan pressed the person down onto the chair. Mo Youyou finally realized that I am the master. You are still my master. Disrespectful. Can I pull the girl's hand casually? No way. I want to educate her well. Mo Youyou completely forgot. Gu Mingchuan is 100 years older, an old antique. Unexpectedly, I have to educate my ex, the former alliance leader. Eating is fine. I have something to tell you. Listen carefully. Good. Gu Mingchuan nodded obediently. In the future, don't casually grab a woman's wrist. Do you know? Mo Youyou had a cold expression, with a serious expression. But the master is different. How can one just pull master's hand casually? Not the same. Not the same. Mo Youyou's mind lingered on these 3 words. Not good. My ears seem to be a bit hot. Mo Youyou covered her hands. Mo Youyou held her ears. Also, then you can't hold other girls' hands. Do you know? Got it. Gu Mingchuan and Mo Youyou started having breakfast. Morning is not suitable. Eating too lavishly and greasy. Gu Mingchuan prepared 2 bowls of plain rice porridge, a plate of green vegetables, a plate of steamed buns. Mo Youyou was picking vegetables. The cuffs were slightly pulled back. Her wrist as pale as a lotus root was exposed. As the edge of April approaches, How Wan Ning Shuang Zhu, Gu Mingchuan recalled the feeling of gripping his master's wrist. Soft and smooth. It seems I'm addicted. As I pondered, could not help but show a somewhat dazed expression. Mo Youyou watched him eat, looking silly, not even eating. She had a woman's intuition that he wasn't thinking of anything good. Raising a small fist is just a profit-making scheme. Oh no. Master, why are you hitting me? Eat well. You're drooling. What bad things are you thinking about? Sigh. There's no saliva. Gu Mingchuan thought he had been caught by his master for twisting his wrist. Quickly wiped the corner of his mouth. It's okay, it's okay. The drool hasn't dripped down yet. Disciple, why are you pulling me to have breakfast? Master's current cultivation level, even if it's decades. It's fine not to eat. Mo Youyou asked curiously. Because we are still human. People need to eat. Gu Mingchuan answered as a matter of course. Oh, Mo Youyou fell into deep thought. Doesn't master think the rice is fragrant? If I don't eat for a day, I get really hungry. Mo Youyou scooped a spoonful of plain congee. The grains glisten with clarity. It does smell nice. The 2 had breakfast. Master Mu is going to start assessing apprentice Gu. Gu Mingchuan stood straight in the center. Mo Youyou sat in the main chair, expressionless, resting his chin on one hand, actually being a mentor to Gu Mingchuan. Mo Youyou, there is no certainty in my heart. After all, Gu Mingchuan had previously. They are the ones looked up to by the entire monastic community. If he wishes to cultivate himself in just a few days, it might have advanced rapidly. But then I thought again. This person has been gone for 5 years. Still looks like an ordinary person. It was just recently that I reformed my physical body. Or does he have other plans? Still, he has lost his memory. Otherwise, yesterday I forcefully brought him back to the mountain gate. Why does he look like he doesn't recognize me at all? Although I no longer have any magical energy. But the appearance has never changed. Although he had shown earlier, understanding the celestial origin demon body, also in their own exploration, use the familiar power of the spirit. Even if I have lost my memory, when a person faces danger, it may also awaken one's latent spirit. So, although I recognized him through the aura of his spirit, but it's hard to determine Gu Mingchuan's true situation. But if Mo Youyou is to, just ask Gu Mingchuan. Hello, are you the former leader of the Alliance? Mo Youyou is not daring. What if Gu Mingchuan answers directly? Correct. I am Gu Mingchuan. Since my identity is exposed in front of you, you wicked woman. Then I had no choice but to escape. Or perhaps, correct, I am Gu Mingchuan. Correct. You already know the truth. That part cannot be left to you. The demon lord's fate is hard, and so on. What should we do? Oh, of course, there is also a situation where Gu Mingchuan loses everything due to his utilitarianism. Correct. I'm Gu Mingchuan, though I have lost everything for the sake of gain. But the leader of this alliance can be killed, but not insulted. Even if I die, I won't be your disciple either. What should I do? Mo Youyou finally found it after 5 years. Finally found him. This aura is exactly the same. It must be him. If he leaves again, Mo Youyou cannot accept it. Got it. Mo Youyou thought. You can also indirectly probe a bit. The disciple, oh, do you know the former leader of the alliance? Gu Mingchuan appeared calm and composed. Actually, my heart is already in turmoil. But my great aunt. What do you want to do? Did you find me? It shouldn't be that way. A few years ago, I had flaunted in front of that kid. He didn't notice me at all. I've heard a bit about it, hearing Shifu mention that I bear some resemblance to him. Gu Mingchuan had a hint of hesitation. Mo Youyou intentionally did not respond. I have heard about the deeds of the former alliance leader from a few years ago. If you ask me, that former alliance leader must be a foolish idiot. Otherwise, how could it be that? How did this happen? Disciple, don't you think so? Mo Youyou wore a cold expression. There was a sense of gritting one's teeth. Ai. The apprentice is unaware. Gu Mingchuan choked on a bite, still pretending to be expressionless. That former alliance leader must be a nutrient-rich spicy gun head. I might not last a few moves under my master's hand. Disciple, don't you think so? But is that so? Gu Mingchuan could only nod. I heard that Gu Mingchuan is someone who bullies the weak and fears the strong, chased by the Saintess of the Demon Gate. What a coward! Disciple, don't you think so? Is that so? Gu Mingchuan's expression was somewhat stiff. A black line hangs on the forehead, but didn't dare to let Mo Youyou see it. It's like a mute eating bitter herbs. Gu Mingchuan has lived for so long. This is the first time I've felt so suffocated. But this is all the result of one's own actions. You have to pinch your nose to eat. In the days that followed, the master and disciple lived together. Mo Youyou was still thinking about how Gu Mingchuan had deceived him. Even if I don't know whether Gu Mingchuan has lost his memory, he still occasionally drags Gu Mingchuan out to blame him. Whip him once and then ask him again. It's truly a heart-wrenching betrayal. Back to the present. Mo Youyou scolded someone indirectly while pointing at a mulberry tree. The anger from 5 years seems to have faded a bit. Is Gu Mingchuan really suffering from amnesia? Still in the Western-style dress. Those who pretend to be asleep cannot be awakened. If Gu Mingchuan were not suffering from amnesia, why should I obediently be my own disciple? Could it be that she really wants to be supported for the rest of her life? Mo Youyou still feels unsatisfied, planning to keep causing trouble. That former leader was really a master. Aren't we supposed to practice? Let's not mention that former leader anymore. Gu Mingchuan quickly interrupted. He didn't want to hear him scold him anymore. Strange and uncomfortable wooden sword edge. Clouds and mist swirl outside the mountains. Shan ni matsu takes Sui by. The scenery is pleasant. In front of 2 bamboo houses. I just want to give you a warning before your journey of cultivation. Don't be like the current leader of the alliance. Not to mention it won't end well. You will still be scolded by me for disappearing. Gu Mingchuan fell silent for a moment. Half a reward, hold back a sentence. No, understood, master. No matter how much you say, it's ultimately your own fault. I originally owed someone. No matter how you curse, it's not too much. No matter what. Now, Gu Mingchuan, can I really just reveal my identity directly? That's not possible. Werewolf game opening, hand jump. What other gaming experiences are there? Gu Mingchuan was just calculating, taking the opportunity to be an apprentice, accompanying Mo Youyou. See if there's a chance. Make it up to them properly. When the time is ripe, once again I confide everything to Mo Youyou. At that time, I will be able to continue to roam freely in the world. Little did he know about his underwear. I'm almost seen through by Mo Youyou. The apprentice is standing ready. Mo Youyou made Gu Mingchuan stand straight. Then a pair of small hands. Then they started to get hands-on. Gu Mingchuan recalled memories from his past life. What a wealthy woman just thought about. Is this the price of being kept? Then I can do it, master. Please do not pity me. Gu Mingchuan gazed ahead. Just feel Mo Youyou's small hand. Soft and gentle. Soft and warm again. Wandering all around oneself. Except for the key parts. All have been touched once. Mo Youyou is actually helping someone with bone setting for the first time. Even his family's little scholar's younger brother. He has never touched the bone like this before. Gu Mingchuan's line of the song. It can be said to be the perfect golden ratio, although not professionally trained. But everything that should be there is there. Muscle firmness. Mo Youyou felt around. Gu Mingchuan is completely awake now. Mo Youyou touches someone else's body. I couldn't help but feel my face burning hot. It seems like steam is starting to rise from my head. Okay, all right. Mo Youyou took 2 steps back, fell onto the bamboo chair. That's it. How about master touches again? Gu Mingchuan still felt it wasn't enough. How nice it would be to be touched by Mo Youyou. Not only is it crispy and numb, can still use the peripheral vision of perspective. I saw master's wrist. Tender white neck stem, also on the chest. Hi, I can't say any more. No, no need. Mo Youyou turned around and took a sip of water, cooling down my face a bit too. Strange events. The weather this month. Why is it so hot? Mo Youyou waved her little hand, sighing. You have excellent potential, even at this age. As long as you take the medicinal bath and practice the body refinement techniques, you can successfully refine your body. Thank you, master. Mo Youyou said this. Gu Mingchuan certainly knows. He crafted a small number for himself. Of course, it must be the finest. But now, by myself, since you already feel, be a good disciple of Mo Youyou. What about one's own cultivation path? Just leave everything to Mo Youyou to arrange. I originally didn't plan to. Let your alternate account train. Now someone is going to help take care of their cultivation. It's pretty good. Nuo, practice this sword technique for now. I'll go visit Master Nilo first. Mo Youyou handed it to Gu Mingchuan. He left with a book on swordsmanship. Gu Mingchuan looked bewildered. Isn't it usually the case that we first take a horse stance, learn the foundational methods of body refinement? Then he reached the Kai refinement stage. Are you just starting to decide what weapon to use? Ancient martial sword technique. Ancient martial sword techniques are not just about swordplay. It also recorded the art of swordsmanship, sword kai techniques, and so on. Gu Mingchuan flipped to the last page. Strange expression. Ancient martial sword technique and Luo Xia sword technique. For the dual cultivation combined sword technique. Unity of the two. The power is extraordinary. This Luo Xia sword technique. Could it be master's sword technique? Gu Mingchuan and the sword technique. HMPH. Women truly have ulterior motives. She couldn't have done it on purpose. Come to Zhao Zu's place. Otherwise, why specifically choose anything? The specially crafted self of a magic cultivator. Gu Mingchuan did not know. Mo Youyou's inner thoughts. Unbeknownst to her, she concealed her identity. The undercover agent came specifically to find me. However, Zhao Zu said, it's not impossible to agree to her. Bip. What are you thinking? I still want to travel all over the rivers and lakes of the north and south. We can't let women, tangled in the footsteps. It is Gu Mingchuan. While lost in thought with the sword technique, Mo Youyou has arrived. Kinyan Peak of the Luo Zaya sword. On Kinyan Peak, medicine source. The short-statured Luo Zaya giant, nestled in the medicinal herb field, to my precious elixirs, weeding and watering. Kinyan. Mo Youyou stood outside the garden. Called softly. Luo Zaya giant turned to look. It turns out to be Mo Youyou. Sister Yao. Sai, why did you come to my garden today? Sai, are you the one delivering my meal? Is your disciple's cooking good? Your disciple is truly heartless. I brought him cooking utensils. He actually drove me away. What do you mean by the first meal? You can't give me food. I want to give you something to eat. I'm so angry. Uozaya Giant is a small painting prison. Once the painting box is opened, can't stop. Mo Youyou couldn't even find a set of small connections. The sudden strike made her ears flush red. Gu Mingchuan does not allow Uozaya to have the sword. Eating his first meal, he has already heard it from Gu Mingchuan, but on the side of Uozaya Giant, witnessed firsthand, it's still different. When will you take down your disciple? Do you want me to chip in a bit? Shut up. Mo Youyou couldn't let him say any more. Continues speaking. No need to worry about serious matters anymore. Do you know about the genuine demon body? A customized set of body refining elixirs suitable for him. Hurry up. All right, all right, all right. I'm on it right away. Yuo Zaijian is accompanied by Mo Youyou. Returned to my own medicine cabinet, ordering a few young boys around. Prepare all the medicine and bring them here. Every day I brew him a medicinal tea. Practice the body refinement method. The rest depends on qualifications and effort. Gu Mingchuan's talent and aptitude, Mo Youyou felt completely unconcerned. That guy is the #1 in the cultivation world. Cultivating the body is, of course, easy and relaxed. Just do your best. Just fulfilling my own responsibilities as a disciple is enough. Mo Youyou was holding a few packages of medicine, just about to form the sword technique. When they returned to the mansion, Sai, Sister Yao, wait a moment. I forgot something important. About to desire emptiness. Mo Youyou rose up, turned around in confusion. What big event? Fu-er, come here. Added a few pills for that purpose. You can rest assured. As soon as I heard about the disciple, Mo Youyou couldn't help but feel a bit anxious. I am reassured. You didn't do anything bad, did you? Will there be any impact? No, no. The body refinement effects are great. So what happens next? Perhaps you are on the bed. Hey, Sister Yao, don't go. Mo Youyou arrived with a plain face, running away with a flushed face. When leaving, still facing Luo Qiqing's medicinal garden, launched several sword techniques. Fortunately, Luo Qiqing blocked it in time. Otherwise, her carefully tended medicinal garden, it's all going to be destroyed in an instant. Luo Qiqing, first, find a way to win over your long-cherished master. Come again to manage my dad, Luo Qiqing. Standing firmly in place, an image appeared in my mind. A tall and handsome figure. Sighed. My master, that blockhead. It's really difficult. Gu Mingchuan sat there, on the chair outside the bamboo house, watching the swordsmanship half-heartedly, his true self's 9 sword space. You need to gather the 9 divine swords from the sword manual. One of them, of course, it's his favorite Gu Xiaojin, and the special physique of the true self, the Jiayuan sword body. We also need 9 volumes of superior ancient sword techniques to achieve maximum effectiveness, even more so, without gathering all 9 sword techniques and the 9 swords. Then he cannot be promoted to the Ascension realm. Gu Mingchuan was exceptionally gifted. In the 100 years before he became the leader, he has already stepped into the realm of Ascension. Naturally, he had already gathered 9 volumes of top-tier sword techniques. Regarding the sword, he has already understood enough. But this dual cultivation sword technique, this is truly the first time he has ever chopped. There's no way. In the past, it was one person with a sword sweeping through the world. What kind of woman? What is dual cultivation? Everyone kept their distance from him. This Gu sword technique's single sword. He quickly learned it. The dual sword of the second half. He really can't bear to look. The lethality of a century-old single man from a dual-chamber mother. It really is a bit too much. What kind of lewd sword technique is this? Here we hold hands. There, around the waist. They embrace each other, and so on. Various strange and bizarre poses that cannot be described. The sword technique created. Seeing Gu Mingchuan's face flush red. This master has also seen it. Can that little girl Mo Youyou handle it? As an old rival of the Demon Gate. In the past, he often heard his subordinates mumbling. The demoness of the Demon Gate. She is a naive young girl with golden hair, still unmarried. I haven't heard of anyone liking someone. The Mu family may be from the demon sect, but the family rules are also very strict. Gu Mingchuan couldn't imagine. What does my master think of this sword technique? However, Mo Youyou had never actually seen it. His own falling sunset sword technique. Actually, it's only the first half of the solo sword technique. The dual sword technique of the second half. All are within the solitary mist sword technique. He specifically chose this book on the solitary mist sword technique. I often heard my mother say before, these two sword techniques are the yin and yang swords. Mostly male and female master-apprentice pairs, or the deist couple used it. The setting sun and solitary mist soar together. The autumn waters blend with the vast sky in a single hue. A stunningly beautiful and romantic sword technique. Mo Youyou chose the falling sunset sword technique herself, just overjoyed. So when he was choosing the sword technique for Gu Mingchuan, it was a strange twist of fate that chose this book. The solitary mist sword technique that complements one's own swordsmanship. The little girl thought she was very clever. Gu Mingchuan will not discuss whether he has amnesia for now. If it weren't for amnesia, look at how he's pretending not to recognize me, and has not appeared in the world for 5 years. Then he must not want to reveal his identity. Of course, the sword technique needs to change. If it's amnesia, that the swordsmanship given to oneself is just right. I won't treat him poorly again. Agreed, when someone is a revered master. Of course, we must prepare the best for him. Mo Youyou felt a sense of achievement. Gu Mingchuan closed the sword technique, patted his hot cheeks. The master should be back now. The thought just surfaced. Then Mo Youyou landed in front of me on her flying sword. Gu Mingchuan saw him dressed in white. Yimei dances gracefully among the crowd. Her flowing dark hair danced lightly in the wind. It became a bit dazed again. Disciple, I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Master, you're back. What's wrong with you? That, it's nothing. Gu Mingchuan had seen attractive people before, but Mo Youyou gave him a different feeling. Just now, she looked enchanting and graceful. It reminded him of their first meeting. He was dressed in all black. Light killing staff sword, the way it comes out. It was branded in his mind. Just wait here. Mo Youyou was carrying several belts. Returned to my own room. Then he took out a belt, turned and entered Gu Mingchuan's room, after about the time it takes to burn an incense stick. Disciple, you should put on a set. Gu Mingchuan stepped into his bathroom. Mo Youyou was standing in front of a large tub of medicinal bath. Gu Mingchuan began to take off his robe. Why are you starting to take off your clothes? With the disciples. Mo Youyou covered her eyes with her hand. No, wasn't it the master who asked me to prepare the medicinal bath? Gu Mingchuan saw Mo Youyou, a shy and soft expression. I felt both curious and mischievous. Gu Mingchuan directly slipped down. Just take off the outer robe. The etiquette is quite personal. It accentuates his perfectly shaped figure. He also deliberately caused trouble. Riding a wooden boat, I close my eyes. Sneak over to my master. 2 steps ahead. Wait for me to go out. You still haven't taken it off. He approached without knowing when. The man's breath became even clearer. I've seen people get so scared that they run straight out of the house. Gu Mingchuan smiled. He clearly saw Mo Youyou's small hand that she was covering, revealed a slight gap. HMPH. The woman wants to look but doesn't dare to. Gu Mingchuan gently closed the door of the bathroom. After a while, a soft, muffled sound echoed from outside. The Buzio. You must not look if you want it. No asking questions either. Do you know? Master. Why is this? Anyway, it's not allowed. The obedient. But Gu Mingchuan immersed himself in the bathtub. The bathtub is dark and murky, almost condensed into a muddy desire for medicine. It's a bit pungent. It brought an unbearable, excruciating pain. Gu Mingchuan felt. The entire body was invaded by the effects of the medicine. All the pores on my body are welcoming this medicinal power. So, the pain feels even stronger. This time's desire for medicine. It seems like it's bigger than when I was refining my body. The old man prepared something even harsher for himself. At least the pain has more than tripled. Although Gu Mingchuan is a max-level boss playing a low-level account. But even the boss can feel pain, okay? Didn't I say I practiced on an account? Just don't know the pain. But it hurts. It really does. Gu Mingchuan just let out a few muffled groans. Did not scream in pain like an ordinary cultivator. 7-foot man. Endure what ordinary people cannot endure. Doing mundane things is unacceptable. Can be regarded as a true man. Gu Mingchuan at his core, there has always been a strong resilience, the spirit of defiance against conventions. Otherwise, he can't do it either, in front of both the immortal and demon families. Just blow it up directly. Master just said, no peeking. You didn't say I couldn't smell it. Gu Mingchuan adapted to the pain of drug cravings. Instead, they became calm and weak. They even began to smell the scent of medicine. Count how many herbs are inside. Ylang grass. It has the effect of enhancing physical strength. Bai Yu Zhai, used to wash the essence of the scriptures. I'm sorry, but I need more information or context to assist you. Nutritional goods. I remember the effects are strengthen the muscles and bones, expel wind and dampness. There is also a need to strengthen kidney yang. Enhance kidney yang. Smell it again. What else is in the meat and scallion mixture? Hunting sheath and the hand of the crow. Why are several people later referred to as aphrodisiacs? Master, is this hinting that I'm not capable? No way. He hasn't tried it. How to know that Gu Mingchuan was a bit confused for a moment. Unexplainable. How was I seen through by my master? If there is an opportunity in the future, determined to prove myself. About 3 hours passed. Gu Mingchuan's pain has disappeared. The medicinal effect has been completely absorbed by him. The pores on Gu Mingchuan's skin. Black impurities flowed out. It has already hardened into filth all over. However, Gu Mingchuan encountered a dilemma. This mud and the medicinal mud of desire have already come together. This is a tragedy now. He is stuck inside and can't get out. If he were alone, it's not a problem at all. With a mighty spirit, just crush these medicinal pastes. But now Mo Youyou is outside. He still doesn't want to easily reveal his identity. On that day, a fragment of the spirit was secretly used. Not discovered. I never expected to be the leader of the Alliance. Jan Dao Kui Shu. One day, I was unexpectedly trapped by a jade bucket. There's no way out. We can only shake people. Master, help. Mo Youyou had been waiting outside for 3 hours. Just thinking about my disciple's chest and breath from earlier. Still feeling a bit hot. When I was feeling extremely irritated. heard Gu Mingchuan's cry for help. Mo Youyou walked to the bathroom door, knocked on the door. Girls' games. You can't just barge into a man's bathroom. This time he has learned to be clever. It can't be like it was just now, being bullied by my own disciple. Master, I was trapped in the jade bucket by you. Quick rescue. Pachai. In the world where the sword speaks cold as frost, the lady soared immortal. Now laughing uncontrollably. Master, please stop laughing. Save me first. Good. I won't smile. Pachai. I can't do it anymore. I'm joking again. Gu Mingchuan heard Mo Youyou's teasing from inside. Not sure how long. There is no greater humiliation than this. Gu Mingchuan clenched his fists tightly, trapped by the situation. On the grudge book, a stroke was added to Mo Youyou. Finally, with a creak, Mo Youyou timidly walked in. The master has laughed enough. Gu Mingchuan smiled. There are also dark impurities and medicinal mud on the face. A smile reveals a mouthful of bright white teeth. Very eye-catching. You don't. I want to laugh again. Mo Youyou quickly covered her mouth. Can't laugh anymore. Laughing at one's own disciple again. I'm really getting angry. Little did they know, Gu Mingchuan is already angry, and holds grudges deeply. Because of this small matter, in the days that followed, they took the opportunity to torment him. After holding back laughter, Mo Youyou began to ponder how to handle the current situation. What happened to Master? Save me. But what? Gu Mingchuan asked. However, after I used my spiritual power to save you, you don't save any holes. Did no one wear anything? We need to dig Gu Mingchuan out. Must use spiritual power. Directly scan Gu Mingchuan's entire body. This sweep is done. Impurities and medicinal residue. Of course, it has completely vanished. Gu Mingchuan and Mo Youyou had an honest conversation. How can this be? We are master and apprentice. Mo Youyou's willow-like eyebrows slightly furrowed in jealousy. Her small face showed great distress. Gu Mingchuan pondered for a moment. Master, you close your eyes and channel your spiritual energy. Then I will guide you. Sure. Gu Mingchuan, it's just that there's someone outside. If both hands are trapped in the bathtub, then he really didn't know what to do. Mo Youyou hesitated for a moment. There's no way. For the sake of the disciple, there's no other way. Mo Youyou first covered her eyes. Trembling, he walked to the bathtub, then extended his right hand to Gu Mingchuan. At the same time, spiritual energy flowed through my hands and controlled him. Don't hurt your own disciple. Gu Mingchuan is holding on to Mo Youyou's small hand. Go towards oneself. Hold on to Mo Youyou's wrist. Gu Mingchuan felt it again. Yesterday, the sensation of holding Master's small hand, soft, tender, and smooth, seemingly soft and boneless. Unavoidably, there are some wishes that gallop forward. You cannot touch your own body. Mo Youyou has such thin skin. We'll anger him later. I can't get out by myself. Gu Mingchuan carefully led Master's little hand about an inch away from my body. Using the spiritual power in Mo Youyou's hands, remove impurities. Mo Youyou released her spiritual energy from her hands. Ming covered her eyes. Ming didn't touch it, but it seemed he could feel it. My own hands, circling around the disciple. His large hand, it is also different from one's own. Mo Youyou's tilted face. It seems like a few drops of blood can be squeezed out. Not possible. The poetic heart cannot be tarnished. What is your identity now? But his noble master, we can't do that. Although we haven't actually met, can actually clean impurities, using it in his body. The energy that is generated, in a certain sense, the two people still accomplished an intimate encounter. Mo Youyou seems to be able to emit spiritual energy. The other end felt the apprentice's touch. All right, Master, you can retract your spiritual power now. Gu Mingchuan reluctantly released Mo Youyou's wrist. Uh, when Mo Youyou showed that blank expression again. I have forgotten everything. You were pulled down by Gu Mingchuan to clear away the impurities. The moment Gu Mingchuan let go of his hand, Mo Youyou was momentarily taken aback. The whole person fell into the bathtub. But, Master, be careful. I saw him about to fall down. Gu Mingchuan instantly forgot that he was barefoot. He reached out his hands to support Mo Youyou, but Mo Youyou fell too quickly, has already fallen into Gu Mingchuan's arms. The two people fell backward. The bathtub flipped over as well. So, something delightful has happened. Mo Youyou was completely lying on Gu Mingchuan. A hand caressed Gu Mingchuan's cheek. A hand rested on his chest. Gu Mingchuan lay sprawled out like a letter. What kind of tiger-wolf position is this for a young couple in bed? Gu Mingchuan fell to the ground, but did not feel any pain. The tip of the nose carries a faint minty scent. It smells really good. He usually doesn't recognize makeup. It should be a natural scent. At the same time, the feeling in my chest is the strongest. Only feeling the warm fragrance softly enveloping me. Are all women this fragile and weak? He was clearly pressing his whole body down on himself. It seems like a feather. He feels so delicate. It seems like I just need to put in a little effort. I just want to crush him to pieces. Gu Mingchuan was a bit reluctant to let him get up. Mo Youyou isn't feeling well either. This fall, it felt like I had entered a wide, warm embrace. Mo Youyou buried her little head in Gu Mingchuan's chest. There was a subtle masculinity about him. The scent resembling sandalwood enveloped my entire being. I feel like I'm a bit drunk, lying on his chest. You can clearly hear Gu Mingchuan's heartbeat. Heavy and powerful. The speed seems to have increased a bit. Mo Youyou didn't feel like getting up for a moment. His legs felt a bit weak. The two of them lived quietly like this. Time lies quietly on the ground. Gu Mingchuan was in great agony. Master is all over him. The two towering soul sources. Nature also pressed against their chest and abdomen. Usually wears a loose-fitting robe. You can't tell that the master is actually so talented. Then, the dragon has raised its head. Fortunately, Mo Youyou is now very shy. The little head's temperature has already caused the CPU to overload. Didn't notice any movement beneath me. At this moment, there was a person who was quite timely. An unwelcome guest arrived at an inopportune time, from far to near, outside the bamboo house. The sound of several shouts echoed repeatedly. Sister Yao, little apprentice nephew, where are they? Oh dear, they are all here. But I didn't see anything. Don't mind me, don't mind me. You all continue. Luo Qingjin ran away with a flushed face. The two people on the bathroom floor made a big fool of themselves. Unable to make a sound in the first half, Gu Mingchuan, now it's dead. Mo Youyou, I can't face anyone anymore. Master, is it time to get up? I should go cook for you now. Gu Mingchuan felt his reaction slowed down. Quickly get the master up. Otherwise, it will be another dragon raising its head. Let the master notice. The happiness of one's later years may not be guaranteed. Who asked you to cook? Mo Youyou was somewhat annoyed, patted Gu Mingchuan's chest. Soon, they began to use both hands and feet. Also used spiritual power. When I wake up, don't forget to cover your eyes. Slipped away quickly. Mo Youyou ran outside. He also made a harsh remark. You disrespectful and frivolous person. Remember this for me. I will not let you go. HMPH. Mo Youyou feels that her persona it's on the verge of breaking down more or less. When I first met Gu Mingchuan, I still have a cool demeanor, seeing the appearance of the immortal master. It was originally planned quite well, regardless of whether this person has amnesia. Still pretending to be clueless. You have to be a cool and aloof person yourself. Meet the immortal master. We can't afford to lose points. What? This is good now. It's only been 2 days. How much air did it lose? Cannot do it. It is essential to restore the master's authority. When Gu Mingchuan finished tidying up and came out, Mo Youyou has already vanished without a trace. There are blue veins sitting outside. Bored, I fiddled with the weeds in my hand. Yo, cheat negligence. I didn't expect you to act so quickly. It's only the second day. You all just did that. Uncle Luo, I'm begging you, stop talking. If you say that again, my master will kick me out. He can't bear to part with it. Luo Qingjin smiled ambiguously. Where is my master? You won't say anything to him. He must have been so angry that he ran away. No, no. Sister Yao, come out. I haven't had a chance to speak yet. He ran to his own room all by himself. I see. Gu Mingchuan guessed that his master had a thin skin. Now they should be hiding, too embarrassed to face anyone. It's quite strange to say. The two people did not know each other for long, but Gu Mingchuan felt that Mo Youyou is very easy to understand. At least in terms of shyness. Very easy to understand. Then Uncle Master can decide for himself. I am going to cook for my master. Sighed. Can I stay and share a meal? Shishu can wait for Shifu. I went out to ask him. I can't make the decisions. You really are a slave to your master. Luo Qingjin sighed. Speaking of which, why are you so determined to cook for your master? We cultivators. Generally, it's not good to eat food without bones. Except for me. I'm craving something delicious. Luo Qingjin was a bit curious. It was the same last time. Bring this kid some kitchen utensils. His first sentence was, I also need to cook for my master. I want to be like my master. Bring more liveliness. Falling blue veins. Luo Qingjin seemed to be deep in thought. This matter is inexplicable again. Stuffed with dog food. Gu Mingchuan, who is feeding dog food. He has already gone into the kitchen to start cooking. In Mo Youyou's room, there is a lump on the bed, bulging with fullness. The lump that was forced into the group. This big dumpling, occasionally still trembling slightly. A mournful sound echoed. It's all over now. I can't face anyone anymore. Mo Youyou regrets not acting initially. Since being born from the Demon Gate, she is the little princess of the Demon Gate, regarded as the talent of the Demon Gate, the greatest generation of the Demon Gate Holy Maiden. She did not disappoint the expectations of many. Not long after entering the world, he had reached the level of a truly accomplished individual when Gu Mingchuan sent her a challenge. She couldn't contain her curiosity. Since childhood, I have learned from many uncles. It has been 100 years since the leader of the Immortal Alliance emerged to become the foremost leader of the cultivation world. How to be exceptionally talented and outstanding. Kai Zai Zhuo Zhu, even though it's a demon gate. To this first person of the immortal way, also give more compliments. After all, it's because of her. The disputes between the two families have diminished significantly. So, Mo Youyou 5 years ago, only then would I want to take my father's place in battle. But her father dared to let Mo Youyou replace myself. It was also due to the trust in Gu Mingchuan. She believes, this person, it won't really ignite a war between the immortals and demons. Instead, it's the daughter from our own family. For the first time, I set demands on myself. The daughter slaves wouldn't zither. How could one refuse? But this is also the source of Mo Youyou's character collapse. She wanted everything since she was little. When she insists on wanting nothing at all, what father says is what it is. Let her cultivate properly. She focused on her cultivation. Fortunately, Mo Youyou couldn't bear to let his daughter marry off. So, Mo Youyou has yet to marry. Mo Youyou has never been interested in anyone. What a talented young man from the Magic Gate. None of it piqued her interest at all. For strangers, they almost always put on a cold and aloof facade, like a fairy on the clouds. No one could make her change her words. But this Gu Mingchuan, first meeting, let yourself cry for her. Second reunion, let her embarrass herself for him how many times? Mo Youyou then realized, how do I present myself in front of her? Exposing the behavior of the little daughter so many times. Once again, I recall, just now, the two people were hugging each other, the way Luo Qingjin saw it. I, I can't do it anymore. I can't face anyone anymore. What is the Yunchen fairy? What cold noodles meet the immortal? All done. Luo Qingjin wouldn't laugh at himself, right? Mo Youyou, filled with shame and anger. Some aspects have shifted to anger out of embarrassment. The fist is getting harder. Otherwise, just take the Qingjin. Master, dinner is ready. Today, due to body training, it stirred from morning until evening. So, I didn't even have lunch. Add Gu Mingchuan, intending to make amends with his master. Thus, dinner seemed a bit more lavish. There are 5 dishes and 1 soup. Among the 3 dishes, it's Mo Youyou from last time. It looks like you really enjoy eating. Luo Qingjin saw Gu Mingchuan carrying plates of colorful and fragrant dishes. I am even more reluctant to leave now. Today everything must be convincing. Sister Yao invited me to stay for a meal. On this broken mountain, there's nothing to eat. Every time I want to go down the mountain to satisfy my cravings, they all have to run a long way. Mo Youyou was resting in the room. I accidentally dozed off in a daze. Waking up, I heard my disciple yelling outside for dinner. HMPH. He is still somewhat conscientious, but it's useless. I hold a grudge. Mo Youyou was in a daze, crawled out of the quilt that sealed her. Then I drowsily opened the bamboo door, even if it is the profound sword immortal Zhu. After waking up in a daze, when I hadn't practiced the clear heart sutra yet, that level of confusion is no different from an ordinary person. Gu Mingchuan saw her hair a mess with green strands. Mo Youyou slightly disheveled. When I stepped out of the door, subconsciously it is, stepped forward to block the space between her and Luo Qingjin. Sure, you're blocking me from working. Aren't we going to eat? Gu Mingchuan also didn't know what was going on. She usually kept a good distance from women. Once again, unable to hold back. The master's dazed appearance. Some things have overwhelmed her. Since I can't control it, then let's not control it. She slowly extended her hand, gently and carefully helping Mo Youyou, combing her waterfall-like long hair. Mo Youyou watched her reach out to stroke her head. Surprisingly, it didn't stop at all. Let her help me organize myself. Her fingers gently glided through Mo Youyou's silky hair. I inevitably touched the top of her head. Well, here we go again. Numb and tingling. Mo Youyou felt that she must be on top. It must be above.